got a new motor. There's the LT1 from yesterday. Here's the 366 from today. We're going to go through and we're going to pull off the intake manifold. Also, on the plus side, pass-through sockets work really well. Really low profile for this. Most of the time you use a wrench. If you try to use a ratchet, then you got to use it. It's always, I've had bad luck with it. I stripped a couple heads of bolts out because it was too high. So, but this actually works really well. This engine, it came from Madison, Florida, which is north of me, and we went and got it last night. It's gonna be put in a Ford, surprisingly enough. We're gonna pull a diesel out and put a Ford in, and pull a Ford 6.6 Brazilian diesel out. Damn it! And then we're going to put in a 366. That's what we're gonna do. I gotta get my words straight. I've always wanted to play with one of these motors. They're a very obscure big block next to like the 402 Chevrolet. I mean, very oddball. No one runs them. This isn't going to be a performance motor. I mean, it's going to get a rebuilt Holley. We're going to put long tube headers on it, and that's about it. It's going to get a new water pump. Everything. We're going to run the stock intake manifold because you can't really find a replacement because it's a tall deck motor, whereas the 454 is a low deck motor, so their intakes don't exchange because the 366 is taller from this point to this point right here. They're wider across than a 454 is. Same with a 427 tall deck. Now there's a 427 low deck that's just like it's I don't know if it's a smaller bore than a 454 or a shorter stroke than a 454, but yeah, that's this. They're pretty cool motors. The 427 tall decks, I mean, they're all good motors. I ain't saying that there's any one of them that's bad. I've only ever had experience with a 454, and it hydrolocked. Not a fault of the motor. It was a failed gasket. The gasket failed on the coolant crossover right here. Just pretend this is a 454. The coolant crossover, the gasket that runs down here, it blew and fed water down into this intake port. And it blew a hole in the side of the cylinder wall. You couldn't see it from the outside, but once you pulled the piston out, there was a window in there. All right, that one's being stubborn. That one, I'm gonna have to go. This probably came out of like a grain truck or something up in Madison. The guy bought it. He deals in parts, and he just sold it. We paid for this. And this giant Clark 5-speed, $400. Now, something's broken in there, and we don't have a bell housing. We have a throwout bearing, and we have a clutch and a pressure plate right here. But these two are not going together. If anything, that right there, maybe, if we can get a bell housing to work. We'll have to get that machine down probably. I don't know. This is just speculation. This is just parts we've accumulated on the side. They're add extras. We could probably fix that, sell that for $800 if we went that route. That we can just put a standard NV 4500 behind it or an automatic and stick it in a 1-ton truck, which is what we're thinking about doing. Just building a hot LT1, LT4 cam, roller motor, carb, headers, new water pump, and bolting it to a mystery transmission. Don't know. But then dropping it in the place of like a 6.5 diesel. I want to find a truck with a 6.5 diesel, pull the 6.5 out, keep it for my own personal use, put that in its place. Because that I know I can make 450 with cam intake headers and 1.6 ratio rocker arms and beehive springs, and it's ready to go. That will support power. Put that to a good turbo 400, turbo 350, hell a 700 R4, and drop it in a 1-ton. Or we can put 4-speed, new process 4-speed, or a NV 4500. There's a whole slew of transmissions we could put behind this and put in a 1-ton and make a pretty nice truck. that is what I want to do with this. Now it's my uncle's motor, so I don't know. I could build it and he could sell it. I don't know, but that's the goal on this. All of its parts are still laid out from really clean inside the valve covers, no sludge, rubber gaskets. There is like sludge in here. They were running straight well water. I did break it. Note, if you're pulling this off, there's 2 bolts, third bolt, an alignment dowel right here. And if you don't get this out and you try to hit it with a sledgehammer, you'll break the thermostat housing off. Or whatever this is, water neck. There's no thermostat in here, so I don't know where the thermostat is on this motor. But that's that. That's not expensive, so I'm not sweating that I broke that. These accessories, they're not going back on. It's not going back with fuel injection, because we hate fuel injection. But that's the plan. This is going to get bolted to an Allison AT545 that we have over in the bushes. Well, not that transmission, just the adapter. Our Ford has an Allison transmission. Same transmission, just different adapter. That's an adapter to the Ford. We want an adapter to the Chevrolet. I don't agree with that, but it's not my motor, so it's not my project. But that's what we're doing. Stay tuned.